Welcome to the Orange Zoning Board meeting for the month of, what are we in, April now?
April 1.
Happy April 1st, April Fool's Day. Those of you out there in TV land, I hope you're not pranking each other into hating each other. Take it easy, you gotta live with everybody. We have one petition before us today. I'd like to start by introducing the members of our board. We have Deb Satanic, our secretary. We have Bonnie Sayat, our court reporter. I keep calling you that, but you're really our recording specialist. We have our zoning enforcement officer, Mr. Jack Demersion. I keep calling him Mr. John's his daddy. All right. We have Greg Natalino. We have Pat Panza, and we have Wayne Garrett. I'm sorry, I drew a blank there. I have Wayne Garrett, and I'm Dave Crow, and we constitute your board for the evening. We only have 4 members. We have one petition before us today. Before we get to that, I'd like to ask the members if they had a chance to review the minutes of last meeting. Does anybody have any corrections to note?
I don't see any.
I have one, but I'll go last. All right. But everywhere it says Attorney Nunez, it should be Attorney Carveth. Attorney Steve Carveth.
Spell that for me?
Carveth.
Yes.
All right. Attorney, or Miss Carvez Nunez was his daughter. Or Nunez is her married name. Chris Carveth was her father, so he's the one who represented her, Chris Carveth. And it says in there that I disclosed many years ago I worked for Attorney Carveth. Both agreed, and so on and on. Wherever it says Attorney Nunez, it should be Attorney Carveth. Any other suggested corrections? I'd entertain a motion to accept the minutes as amended. You got a second?
Second.
Second for Pat. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay, there goes that. All right, before we get started on this evening, I'd like to remind everybody that this is a public hearing. Everybody who wishes to speak on this matter will be given an opportunity to speak. If you're going to speak, you will come to the dais here, introduce yourself by your name and address. All comments will be directed to the chair and the board. You will not speak unless you're recognized by the board. Interruptions or constant talking over other people will be grounds for removal from the meeting. With that, Pat, would you read the notice into the...
I surely will. Welcome to the Orange Zoning Board of Appeals. To appear one time on Tuesday, March 19, 2024, and one time on Tuesday, March 26, 2024, the Orange Zoning Board of Appeals notice to a public hearing. Notice is hereby given to the Orange Zoning Board of Appeals will hold a meeting on Monday, April 1st, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Orange Town Hall at 617 Orange 7 Road to conduct the following public hearing on the following. Petition number 1831 submitted by Oscar Morales for property known as 321 Indian River Road. An application for a used car dealer license has been submitted. Application and materials are filed on the Orange zoning office. A copy of this notice will be filed in the Orange Town Clerk, dated in Orange, Connecticut, on the 18th day of March of 2024. And this is information that was submitted to Noah Eisenhandler, Chairman of the Orange Zoning Board of Appeals, and as David Crow as acting chair.
Thanks, Pat.
You're welcome.
All right, so we've got the application before us. I just want to review with our zoning board enforcement officer. We have an application that's filed in a timely manner,
We do, yes.
and it's on the forms that we're required to fill out.
Yep.
All right. And it's accompanied by an A2 survey. Notice has been mailed to the adjoining members, I see.
that
or
is correct.
adjoining-
Adjoining property owners.
Adjoining property owners, thank you. And this is a pre-existing non-conforming use, right?
Correct, yes. There is an existing business here, which again, for this particular application, we are reviewing the location of a use. We are not looking at any physical alteration, site alteration. We're not reviewing a variance like I know we typically do here. This is an automotive use that comes under, by state statute, under the purview of this commission, the ZBA. And we are, again, only looking at the use and the location here. So that is the purview of this commission.
And just for the record, the use already exists in this location.
Correct. It is a pre-existing non-conforming use, as you indicated, but it does exist today and
Yeah.
is
And the
allowed
licenses are
because
not
of that.
transferable, so that's why they have to.
Right.
take care of it.
exactly
Yeah.
right.
Right.
The new potential business owner needs his own license.
So basically, we're telling the state that we know that use exists and we approve of it under our
Correct.
zoning records. All right.
Yes, sir.
So, I'd like to invite at this time anybody who's gonna speak on behalf of the petition, or the petitioner himself to come up and speak.
So we're gonna have you.
Yeah.
You guys can come up
Yeah,
together,
you
but
can come
you
up
guys,
together.
we do have to have you guys come up here and speak at the podium. And if you could just say your name and address for the record, please.
Sorry, I have a cold. My name is Jim Mank. I'm from Bethany, Connecticut, and have been here in Orange for, this month is my 21st year at Over the Edge Automotive. And I
Spell your
am
last name for me, please.
Mank, M-A-N as in Nancy K.
Thank you.
And I'm here in support of Oscar and Diego, who have been in business for about 3 years and have grown and expanded. We have been working together for over 4 months now, and because I'm be selling my business to these gentlemen, and so I've been there working alongside them for 4 months, and they've proven to me that they're going to continue on the customer service and the probably better operated area than I had. There's going to be less use, actually. It's a dealer's license, but we only have a few cars in the front, and primarily it's for automotive repair, with selling a few cars. Back in 2003, when I moved in, I don't know if most of us were here except for Jack. There was
That's
a
not a bad thing.
dirt driveway. It was a beat-up old trucking building. I paved it when I moved in. I did some improvements, and they've continued to do some improvements ever since. And they have the talent that it takes, and it's given me confidence that I can tan over my 21 years of customers, including, and I don't know if this is going to hurt me or help me, Jeb is one of my long-term customers. Through thick and thin, I've kept the taxi cab running, and that's really all I have to say.
Mr. Mank, just for clarification, you're the current owner of the business.
I am the current owner of the business.
And you're looking to transfer your license to these two gentlemen?
That's correct. It's really only because motor vehicle will not transfer a license why we're here today.
Understood.
So,
Thank you.
And-
Do
and
you
that's
have
it.
Anything else you want to tell us? or-
no, just I
introduce,
have good feelings about them working side by side for 4 months, that they're not going to steer it into the ground.
Why don't you introduce us to them? You guys wanna come up and-
Diego and Oscar Morales, they're brothers.
Okay.
Come on up. And just introduce yourselves. Oscar is basically the top dog, and Diego specializes in rebuilding transmissions.
Thank you.
Oscar, just tell us who you are and give
Hi.
us your address, please.
Yeah, this is Oscar Morales. I live on West Haven, 73 Eagle Plate. We moved from New York like 4 years ago. As soon as we moved to here, we started a business in New Haven, but we're trying to grow up a little bit more, taking this shop over the edge. Last time it was Morales Transmissions. So now we're gonna do a complete repair, automotive repair, and especially on transmissions. Yeah, so we like to work on
So
Orange.
you're the buying the business.
Yeah, we're buying the
Mank.
business. So as he
So
said,
this would be a second location for you, one in
No,
West Haven?
no,
one
no,
here, Or
I-
this is gonna be your,
the New Haven is shutting down
Okay.
completely, and so we're gonna start a new business here.
and you're not looking to change anything there? You're not gonna sell more cars? You're not gonna
No.
expand the use in any way? You're just gonna do pretty much what Mr. Manx is doing?
Yes. The only difference is gonna be we're gonna do transmission there.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
And I actually do just have one thing while I have you up there, kind of what Jim touched on. There have been, you know, certain complaints here and there in the past with vehicles being stored over the property line, sort of too close to the road over there. While I have you here and on the record, I just want to, you know, let you know that your storage of vehicles and anything that you're working on needs to remain on your side of the property line
Okay.
and within the parcel.
Yeah.
Just, again,
Yeah, yeah.
while I have you here, wanted to say that to you.
All
'Cause
right.
I have had some issues in the past with cars being stored elsewhere. Just want to let you know that it needs to be kept, you know, on your parcel.
All right. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Just
appreciate
stay right there, Mr. Morales. Mr. Max, can I ask you back up to the podium real quick? We just want to,
Clarify. I know what they're talking about. Seen it.
Pat, you got a question? You want to go right ahead?
Jack, I have,
Well, that was basically the question I was gonna ask, because I know exactly where the area is, and the truck, and those vehicles do stick out. That's where the turn is, right?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
Okay.
yes, I've
So-
emphasized that to these guys, and right now, where there's my vehicles and his vehicles, it's gonna be reduced in volume, and the ones that are parked over to the side have been brought back as of a few years ago, a few feet off of the road, and has remained that way for now.
And on the repairs that you're doing, on the transmission, how do you handle any of the, contaminants that might be where a transmission fails and things of that sort?
They get picked up by Safety Clean, primarily Safety Clean, there's other vendors.
Okay,
We
and
used-
are these vehicles outside that, are they inside? In other words, if they get transported there, okay, and they have an issue with the transmission leaking, how do you contain that, contaminants?
We would either use Speedy Dry, and a lot of the vehicles that come in would have the transmissions removed and then pushed outside with no transmission in them.
Okay.
And Speedy Dry and
To-
having a.
I think I know where you're going with this, Pat. There
Yeah.
is an oil-water separator
Is there?
in their drainage,
Okay.
yes, yep. Which
Okay.
is why.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because my next question is,
2
you know,
days old.
there's a water course over there.
Exactly, right. So they were required, I believe, a few years ago, they came in with a slight alteration to their site, submitted a site plan, and that oil-water separator was required and installed.
That's my question. Thank you.
Yep.
Any other questions?
Oh, and also, all the drains in the building are sealed off. So
Okay.
there is no drainage in the building. It's all gets swept up, Speedy Dry.
Wayne, do you have any questions for the gentleman?
No, I don't.
Greg, any questions? Pat, you all set?
Thank you.
I think I've got all my questions asked too, gentlemen.
Awesome.
All right.
Anything
Thank
you want to add? Anybody else want to speak on behalf of the petition? Okay, you guys can take a seat.
All right. Thank you.
Time, hang on a second.
Oh, yeah.
I did notice in one of your photographs here, this debris, looks like it's stored on the back.
Yeah,
Wayne.
turn on you, Wayne, you got to turn on.
Wayne, turn on your.
Click on the green button.
My apologies. I noticed in one photograph which was submitted, debris along probably the backside of the building, and wondering what your plans are for.
That has already been cleaned up. There's a few
Right,
junk
right.
tires.
So we gotta have you stay in front of the
Stay by the
microphone so we can get you on the record.
Voter address.
That area has been cleaned up with the exception of a few junk tires that get hauled off once a week.
I see.
But all the debris is gone.
And where is the dumpster location on the property?
It's in one of the parking spots that's a little further down off the road, so you don't see it from the road.
I see.
But it's not.
I didn't see it on the plan, that's what I was wondering where it was.
Next question is, what goes into that dumpster?
We do separate scrap metal, so we, basically cardboard and any normal debris from day to day. Oil filters are drained overnight.
Okay, so there's
there's
no,
a
how,
part to
how do
that.
you treat the contaminants in the dumpster?
We just make sure that it's not oily with Speedy Dry, and there's pig mats that we use that absorb it. Drain the oil filters overnight, and we store the oils, which then get picked up. So we would have it drain over in a 55-gallon drum before disposing of it.
There are, who's your dumpster company?
John's.
Okay, I know them. They have containment, in other words, their containers for contaminants, they have plastic inserts. They're almost like a big bag that goes inside the dumpster itself. That's primarily used for that kind of use. Did you ever talk to them about it?
I have not, but like, when you go to my dumpster area, it's not like oil stains underneath it, it's completely dry. So have never run into that issue. I've not talked with them about that issue.
Okay, well, the only reason why I'm saying it's not you, okay, and those containment areas are not seal-proof.
Yeah.
So it may be something unrelated, just an accident type of thing. Oil goes in there and it then contaminates the ground. Then it becomes more of a problem on contamination and how do you handle the contamination.
Yeah.
Just giving you an FYI that I would handle that differently.
Well, that's not something.
Our landlord.
No, I
That's
understand.
an
I just
EPA
asked the
problem.
question, that's all.
Our landlord is very strict,
Okay, just ask the
given
question,
some
that's all.
history there at the, and we are on top of it.
All right, just so it's
Because
on the
of that.
record. Thank you, that's it.
Anything else?
Yep, nope.
All right, thanks, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else wants to speak on behalf of the petition? I guess that's what we'll call it tonight, the petition. I'm not
Yeah,
sure it's a petition, we'll call it a petition. Anyone want to speak against the petition?
Nobody else here?
They can't see that on TV.
We'll
Pretending
make them
that-
believe there's people there. I did not receive any correspondence.
I have no correspondence either. So with that, I'll close the public hearing, accept the motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second it.
Okay, we have a movement and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nope. Okay. Any discussion, gentlemen?
Yeah, I think it's pretty straightforward. I think, we covered the bases, to protect the town. That's primarily what we're doing here. I don't see a problem with it, but we want to make sure going forward, it's not a problem. That's all.
Understood. Wayne?
I just think that maybe once they do come in with some proposed changes to the site, there's some room for improvement. I've driven by that area, it's sort of typical of Orange from the 1960s. And it's obvious it's been there for a long time, but, we can begin somewhere in terms of enhancing some of the areas that people drive through on probably a regular basis there. But I mean, it's been there, so I don't have any objection to approving this application.
I just want to make sure they're good neighbors, that's all.
Greg? you have anything to say?
with everything.
All right, gentlemen, with that, I'd entertain a motion to, we'd need a motion to allow Jack to sign the application. Is that correct,
It's
Jack?
still approval.
Yeah, still, you could, make a motion to approve petition 1831, submitted by Oscar Morales for property known as 321 Indian River Road for an application for a used car dealer license.
Okay.
I can then sign that on behalf of the commission or
Why don't we,
chairman.
how about our motion also authorizes you to sign on behalf of the commission?
That sounds good to me.
Okay, so with that said, I'll make a motion that,
I don't believe as acting chair, you can
I
make the
can do
motion.
that. Okay,
Yeah,
well,
I
then
think
we
somebody.
Somebody has to do it here.
Yeah.
So moved.
so
So,
moved.
there, thank you,
Okay,
Wayne.
do I have a second? Greg, you gonna second that? All right. You wanna call the roll and get the vote?
Oh, sure. Greg,
In favor?
Wayne,
Yes.
Yes.
Pat,
I'm in favor as well.
Dave.
Yes. Congratulations, gentlemen.
Yep. You all
That's
set?
all we can do for you. Your next
Yep.
step after Jack signs, you gotta go to the state. I believe our board would like to admonish you to remember to be good neighbors. We're glad to have you and glad to have your business with us.
Yeah, we
Just
appreciate
remember to
it.
be good neighbors.
Yep.
Okay?
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Show him my class. Show him the door.
They don't have to record anything on the land records or anything, do they?
They do not, no, not for this petition.
Okay, well then, our business is concluded for the evening.
Make a motion to close?
I'll accept the motion to adjourn. Pat,
Make a motion.
Second.
second from Greg. All in favor of adjournment? Aye. All right, good night to everybody out there in TV land. Good night to our petitioners. Good night to our board. Good night to Chris, who's seen and, whose work is seen and never heard from. And with that, everybody
care.
be safe. Go Huskies.